Guess who I have right here? That's right. The newly crowned 2020 Miss Texas USA, Taylor Kessler.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. So Taylor, we've known each other for a little while.
Several years.
Yes, like 8 or something now.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been crazy. The first time I met you and your precious mother, who I absolutely love, it was at our very first Miss Kima pageant.
Yes.
I think it was the first one.
I think it was the second.
Maybe the second one.
Yes.
And you were competing for Miss Kima team.
Yes.
Yes. So exciting. Oh my gosh. And I remember thinking you were one of the most, well, you're beautiful, but you were one of the sweetest people I met. And I just thought, I was really pulling for you.
Yes,
I just thought you were wonderful. So it is no wonder at all and no shock to me that you are now our new Miss Texas USA, because you're fabulous, honey.
Thank you.
Inside and out, which is really important.
Yes.
Thank you. We talk about that. And you're that's important to you too.
Of course.
Okay, so what do you remember from getting crowned that night? I mean, what was going through your head when you were standing there at top 5?
So top 5, if you go back and look at the pictures or watch the footage, it's hilarious because everyone else is smiling and then it's just me, like dead face, like, oh gosh, this is happening, like nervous, big eyes, like huge smile, couldn't figure it out at this point. And I was like, you know what? I made it to top 5. This is a dream. I'd be happy wherever I place. And that's my first thought when I hit top 5. And then they started calling the girls 4th runner-up, 3rd, 2nd, and then me and San Antonio just turn and look at each other. And these photos are memorable. You will never get over them. Because we just look at each other and you just start seeing water just pour down our faces, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're top 2 Miss Texas. This is crazy. And so we started walking to the middle. And there were a million thoughts going through my head at this point in time. And so I was like, oh gosh, like I could be Miss Texas, but if I get 1st runner-up, that's fine, great. I'll come back next year and work it again and keep moving forward. But I was like, I could win Miss Texas. I could be going to Miss USA. This is something I've only dreamed of. So we're sitting there and shaking. And I'm sure if you're in the audience or you watch the footage, all you see is my mouth moving the whole time, because when I get nervous, I talk a lot. That's just a habit of mine. Some people get quiet. I just keep talking. So I just keep telling her, like, oh my gosh, can you believe this? This is real. Like, we made it. Like, we're here. I was like, don't forget, they're going to make the joke about 1st runner-up. Just be ready. And they're like, 1st runner-up is. And I was like, love ya. Girl, love you so much. And then we were just laughing. She was just laughing at me the whole time, Morgan. She thought I was probably a crazy person at that time. But it was great. So it was a shock to me, but I was super happy.
Oh my gosh. Well, I couldn't have been happier for you. I mean, watching you grow over the past 7 years that I've known you, and just all of your hard work has really come to fruition, and I'm just so proud of you. And Taylor, what some people may not know, but a lot of people do know about you, is that you were actually crowned Mrs.
Grand United States.
Grand United States.
Yes, in 2017.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So you've been a national title holder in another pageant system.
Yeah.
So you got to actually travel different places in the world and represent the United States.
Yes.
Very exciting. How do you think that journey prepared you for competing for Miss Texas again?
I think just knowing what it takes to be a national title holder and then coming to Texas, I have the experience, I have what it took to be Miss Texas or to be Miss USA. But I also went through trials that not many people get to go through before you compete. So I already had gone through it. I had a little bit of an edge. I had seen the good and the bad side and what I wanted to change or what I wanted to fix. So I know going into Texas, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I need to be myself. I need to do what I want, whether it's the gown, the swimsuit, the interview outfit. You have to be 100% yourself. And so being a national title holder, I now came into Texas knowing what I wanted. So it kind of just helped me in the long run.
Yeah, and this was a really good point, because we're going to talk about a couple of different things that you did during the Miss Texas pageant, which no one was expecting. Yeah. But a lot of young ladies tend to enter into a pageant and look at the older contestants or look at people who've competed before and feel like they have to fit in and do things just like everybody else to do well. Mm-hmm. It's really just the opposite. You know, judges don't want contestants to be over rehearsed, not themselves, and they want them to just enjoy the process and the event. What do you think in your life lately that you've been working on really convinced you that you were just going in as yourself and really going to do what you wanted to this year and really not worry about anything else?
So I have a great friend who was in past Miss Texas, Logan Lester, and she really helped me get into a mindset that I needed to have in order to become Miss Texas. It's 100% a mind game when you're going into a pageant. You have to feel your best and be confident on that stage, because if you're not confident in yourself, how are they going to see that you're ready to be in Miss Texas? So this year, she really was like, Taylor, this is the opportunity you have. Like, you have everything it takes to win Miss Texas, Miss USA, and Miss Universe. You just have to believe in yourself. She's like, and that's what she did when she won. She went in knowing that she could win Miss Texas and she could be Miss USA. And it's just a mindset. And so changing every little negative thought into a positive idea was something I had to work on for months. And it was draining at times. And I had to keep moving forward, but I never let doubt get into my head that I couldn't do it. I always had to believe that I could be Miss Texas.
That's right.
That's something that kind of changed for me this past year.
Yeah, and you, okay, now what, if you did not watch the Miss Texas pageant or you were not there, Taylor actually kind of broke the mold a little bit this year. You did wear your two-piece for swimsuit preview and prelim, but top 15, when you made top 15, you actually pulled out a one-piece.
Yes.
Which is very rare. If you know anything about Miss Texas USA or the Miss USA pageant, it's very rare for somebody to wear a one-piece.
Yeah.
You looked incredible. I loved the swimsuit. Tell me what went through your mind when you decided that, okay, if I make top 15, I'm going with a one-piece. It doesn't matter because I know everybody's going to go, what? Yeah. But what was the deciding factor for you there?
For me, I've always wanted to wear one piece. I think I'm a little bit more of a model, more a little high fashion style to me rather than pageant. I'm not the typical pageant girl. I wouldn't say I'm a pageant girl by any means, if you know me at all. So the one piece for me was something that was different and something I've always wanted to do. And I told my mom when we were talking about it, and she's like, okay, let's think about swimsuits. Let's think about what you want to do. And I was like, how do we feel about a one piece? And she's like, interesting, different. And she's like, if you want to do it, do it. And so I was like, okay. So I went on a hunt for the perfect one piece, the perfect blue. And so I found it, and I was like, you know, it takes a lot of confidence to be different and go onto that stage. I was like, somebody's going to love it, somebody's going to hate it. But as long as I like it and I feel comfortable and I'm confident in myself, that's all that matters. I said, it's not the swimsuit they're judging who it is in the swimsuit.
That's right. That's right. And then this is a really great point that I want to kind of tell to our listeners, because you know, when you compete in a pageant, you're not necessarily competing with anybody else.
Yeah.
You're competing with yourself. And the judges aren't comparing you to any other contestant.
Yeah.
They are looking at what you're bringing and why you would be the best Miss Texas USA or Miss Crawfish or whatever you're competing for. Yes. But that's what they're looking at. And so I think it's a misconception for girls who compete in a pageant. Yeah. That girl looks like that. I don't look like that. I can't win. Yeah. That's not the case. So the fact that you kind of went above and beyond this year, because you always look great.
Thank you.
You know, in fact, how many times have you competed at Miss Texas?
At Miss Texas, I competed one time when I was 18. I took a 3-year break and then competed for Miss Grand United States, won that, and then I was gonna take a break and then decided last year to compete 2 weeks before the pageant. Signed up. I did really well with 2 weeks prep. So I've competed 3 times now, so this is the 3rd time, which was weird because I got called top 15 and I was the 3rd person called for top 15, and I was the 3rd person called for top 5. So it was my 3rd year, and I was in number 3 in each section. So I was like, this is meant to be.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That you remembered that.
Oh, yeah, the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm a numbers person. I love numbers. It's a little quirk about
me.
I'm
so happy for you.
Thank you. I love numbers, but that's something I noticed. I was like, okay, 3rd year competing. Yeah. Top 15, I was the 3rd girl in line. Top 5, 3rd girl in line. Yeah. So it worked out. was like, I don't think it happens all the time like that, but for me it did. And I shouldn't be thinking about that while I'm competing, but I did.
Yeah. 3, 3, 3, 3. Yes, exactly. Okay, so Taylor, you know, do you it's first of all, it's not easy competing in pageants at all. And you know, it doesn't matter if it's your first time or if it's your 20th time. There's things that get a little easier, but it's not an easy process. You know, did you yourself figure out when you competed this time for Miss Texas USA, did you write down or did you go through because you said you only signed up literally the last 2 weeks to compete. So, which many girls will not do because they need to have like a year to prepare. Yeah. So you went ahead and did it. Were there things going through your mind that you thought of that, okay, look, I'm going to do that. I'm going to compete this year, but this is what I'm going to do different. Yeah. These are the things that I'm going to make sure I work on before I compete. And these are the things that make me happy that I'm going to do differently. What were those?
So the first thing was being 100% authentic, being myself, not worrying about anybody else. I didn't look at past years and think, okay, well, this is what this girl did to win, so I'm going to do that too. I said, no. Like the one piece, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I feel like. So I changed my headshot last minute into a more natural headshot, which is just who I am. And then I changed the swimsuit and my gown, which was completely different than a lot of the past winners. So it's a thing in Texas. If you win, you wear white, silver, or nude. That's the thing. And so I was like,
it tends to have been the thing.
Oh yeah,
it
it has several years.
Yes.
And so I was like, I don't want to wear white. I want to wear yellow. Yellow's always been a favorite color of mine. Yeah. And I have a blog that's coming out called The Yellow Rose. So it kind of went hand in hand and it corresponded together, which was also funny because Megan, after when I won, she's like, your yellow roses to match your yellow gown.
That's right.
And so it all kind of came out together, and the yellow rose of Texas is the thing. Yeah. So this national rose is the yellow one.
Yes, and isn't that funny? She did say that. Yeah. You're your yellow roses to match your yellow gown. Yeah. That was really interesting that you remember that because I thought, oh, how sweet is that? Yeah. You know, I don't remember the last time they could say, here are your pink roses to match your pink gown. They don't.
No, they don't
realize it because it's always yellow roses. Yeah.
And so it kind of, I've been noted as the yellow rose of Texas now. Yeah. So.
Oh, I love it. Okay, now Taylor, do you realize that because what you said just a minute ago, how new contestants and girls that have competed, they're always going to go back and look at what won for the top 5 and the winner of what they did, and they may copy it. Do you realize that you may have now set the standard for one-piece swimsuits at Miss Texas USA?
Well, it's not just Miss Texas USA. I have a few friends that compete in different states, and they're like, how would you feel if I wore a one-piece swimsuit? And I said, if you feel confident in it, do it.
Exactly.
Do it. So I would love to see it. Girls, rock your one-piece swimsuits. Stand out.
That's right. I love it. I love it. But I thought, oh my goodness, there might be a little trendsetter thing happening here.
One shoulder dresses and one-piece swimsuits.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love it. Okay, so you are getting ready. Yeah. Drum roll. To compete at Miss USA.
I know.
Can you believe it?
It doesn't feel real.
No. When do you think it's going to feel real? When you go pick out a gown?
No. I think when I get on the plane and I'm sitting there and I'm like, flying to the venue, that's where.
I don't even think it'll hit you then. You're just going, oh, look, another party, another fun place to be. Lots of new friends. Oh, wait, we're competing for Miss USA?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
It's going to be like how I was in Texas on stage for the finals. I was like, oh. Yeah. I was like, I'm competing like at Miss Texas. I was like, okay, this is fine. But it didn't hit me that I was competing until I went to top 5. So maybe when I'm on stage at Miss USA, that's probably when it's going to hit me. That I'm competing at Miss USA.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh.
I think so too. Just because you're the way you are. You're hilarious. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we talked about how I met you about 7 years ago and have really watched you grow and have just been, I have always been a big supporter of yours. I just thought you were one of the sweetest and genuine people I'd ever met. This whole thing is just an extra thing God gave you.
Thank you.
Your inside is extremely beautiful and giving and generous, and that's one of the big things I love about you. But was this, sitting here as Miss Texas USA, was this really your an end goal for you? Did you really think, okay, these are my goals, or did you just compete and go, if I win, I win? I just want to do these things to have fun? Or did you say, that is a goal of mine. I want to be Miss Texas USA and be Miss USA or compete at Miss USA or in Miss Universe?
Yeah. So when I was 4, which is so funny, I had always watched pageants. I watched Miss Universe for the first time. And my mom remembers clearly me telling her, I'm going to do that one day. I had a crazy imagination. I always knew what I wanted. I had dreams of being a news anchor or a sports reporter because I love sports, and then becoming Miss Universe. So it was never something I doubted myself doing. And then when I first saw them, I visioned them as princesses. They're in beautiful gowns. They're wearing crowns. But as I got older, I realized they are women that have careers and have passions, and they're driven, and they want to help others. And that's something I found in myself is that, like I said earlier, I'm a numbers girl. I love numbers. I'm very nerdy. I love to read. And I also have a billion passions. And I just was like, okay, I can do this. So when I turned 15, I started talking to my parents about, so can I compete? Can I do this? And they're like, we'll see. And then they finally allowed me to compete for the first time as a teen. And I just kept moving forward and kept going. And so it was just something I've always dreamed of, which is funny because when I was in 8th grade, I had to make a scrapbook about what my life would be like in the next 5 years or so. And one of the pages was dedicated to Miss USA. And it said, Miss Texas USA 2020.
No, you're kidding.
2020 and Miss Universe. Yeah. So I've dreamed of this
Taylor.
Since 8th grade. So for this to happen for me now is
It said 2020. Honestly, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I like the number. 2020, it worked out for me. And so that's what I was thinking. My mom was like, I don't win this year, it wasn't meant to be, but it's been set in my mind for this long that I'm supposed to win this. So here I am, and I think God puts things in your life for a reason, and it happened now for a reason. So
that's
I
absolutely.
Have to keep moving forward and trust in His plan for me.
That's exactly right, and enjoy every minute of this journey.
Of course.
Okay, so hi, Wendy. Good morning. Okay, Wendy said, good morning, Taylor. I'm a new follower of yours.
Okay.
May I ask what your platform is?
So my platform is domestic violence and sexual assault awareness. So
Wendy is very involved with domestic violence. So Wendy, there you go.
Yeah, it's something I've been focused on the past, not several years, but I would say the past 4 years, ever since I entered college. I was in a sorority, now an alum for Alpha Chi, who their philanthropy is domestic violence awareness. So going into college, I just have only heard of an abusive relationship or heard of domestic violence, but I'd never really understood what it was until I found myself in an abusive relationship my freshman year of college. And so for me, I never thought that would happen. I never expected myself, because I'm strong and I'm independent, I never thought that would happen to me. But learning the causes and the signs, you truly see what it really can be. And it's kind of scary, but my job now is to inform others and help them get through what they've been going through.
That's wonderful. And what's a shame is that a lot of younger women don't realize how important this platform is of domestic violence. So many people go through it. And so many young girls go through it, and they don't even realize they're going through it. They think this is how life is. This is how relationships are, and it's not. And if you have been in a situation like this, or you're not sure if you're going through it, please, there are places that can help you or answer questions, and it can be, they don't need your name. You can give me your information. Was there a specific group that you worked with or that you work with, Taylor?
So the Safe House in Huntsville was one that I was very close with. We did a lot of philanthropy events, raise money, but also just volunteering there and helping the women at the shelter. You don't understand that it's not just women, it's kids too that have to go through this. And so we do as much as we can to help them get through and make life easy for them again. But currently, I've gotten the opportunity to work with the Montgomery County Women's Shelter. So I'll be doing an event with them on October 4th for a luncheon to raise money for their shelter.
That's wonderful. October 4th, you said?
Ma'am.
Okay, so what are you doing October the 1st? Because Wendy, I know that, Wendy just asked you right here. What are you doing on October 1st? I'm so glad we're thinking the same thing.
I'm not, off the top of my head, I'm not sure. But
You're not sure? We have to get it approved through her director anyway. But they are, I'll be attending a domestic violence rally October 1st. It's a Tuesday at, I can't remember, Houston Green. Wendy, Yes, Wendy, let me know the information again because I want to be able to give it to Taylor and then we can submit it to her director, Miss Gail. Okay, so I love that that is your platform because that hits home for so many people. And now that you have a crown and a sash that allows you to open some doors and maybe help more people than you could have helped, even in your sororities, which sororities and fraternities do great work with charities. But now, I think this is absolutely wonderful that you're able to even lend a bigger voice to help more people. And this is fantastic, Taylor. Good for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Jimmy Langhall. Okay, he said, I'm curious, Taylor. Tell me what you think your home run question was in your personal interview during the pageant.
My home run question. So one of the things that I talked about mainly for my first panel interview was about my hardest moment or my proudest moment, which was also the same thing. The hardest moment was me breaking my back in March. I had to talk about that because something crazy like that doesn't happen every day. And I had so many things going forward. I was going to work with ESPN and Kansas State baseball team. That was my dream. And as well as getting signed to one of the top agencies in Miami at that time. And I had all of these things lined up, and just because of the car accident, I was kind of catapulted backwards because I had then fractured my spine. I was in a back brace for months, and they were saying, you know, you can't work out, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you can't model, you can't do sports reporting in a back brace. You just can't. And so I had to take everything slower. I had to kind of focus on everything. And at that point in time, I really got into a negative mindset. And I said earlier, being in a positive mindset was something I really had to work on this year. And that was one of the things that forced me to change my mindset into being positive, because you can't heal if you're negative. I feel like you have to be positive and willing and open. Like I said, things happen for a reason. But I also told my mom, I was like, if I can get better, I want to get on that stage. That's the goal. And it's not winning this at this point in time. It's just being on that stage and being in the shape I needed to be at Miss Texas and just moving forward.
Absolutely. And what an accomplishment to know that you did what you needed to do to get better. And that is a huge deal. That's a huge goal. You know, a lot of times we just need a close goal to say, this is what I need to work on because I need to get better. And those help us along the way, those stepping stones. And your stepping stone ended up getting you crowned Miss Texas USA and about to compete at Miss USA. So we're very excited.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so keep sending in your questions for Miss Texas USA. We're very excited. Okay, Taylor, you know, you've been in pageants a while and competed, and you know, a lot of people tend to have a negative stereotype or thoughts about pageants. What would you tell the parent of a young lady who maybe the parent saying, I really don't think I want you to compete. I don't like pageants. I'm not sure about them. What would you tell the parent of why it would be good for their daughter to enter a pageant?
So I know a lot of parents and people are stereotypical of pageants and just think it's just the crown and the sash, but it's not. I mean, I've learned so many skills through pageants whether it's self-awareness because my confidence has grown and I've figured out what I needed to do and who I am as a person. I've really found that because of pageants, but I've also gotten great interview skills, which have helped me in my career with sports reporting and communications. I've been able to talk to anybody. I can have a conversation with a wall if I really wanted to. So that's helped me as well. But the confidence is the number one thing for me. Growing up, I was bullied in middle school, and it wasn't being bullied, but it was more being made fun of, whether my head was too big, that I wasn't pretty enough, and things like that, that really, as a teenager, kind of mentally brought me down. And I never thought I could do it. And then I started watching the pageant, like I said earlier, and I saw that they were more than just beautiful. They're passionate and they're driven. And that's two things that I had in my corner. And so I kept moving forward. But because of pageants, I've grown in so many ways that I think it can help so many girls.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think that, like what you said, the skill set that young ladies learn from competing in a pageant, it's really stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's just healthy. That's just good. And it helps you with interviews through life.
Yes.
Really. Meeting new friends, stepping out of your comfort zone where you're doing things that you never thought you could accomplish or do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs to do something like that in their life. It's just one of those wonderful things. Okay, so what is one thing that you may be able to do but you haven't done yet that you want to do while you're Miss Texas USA?
Oh gosh, there's so many things I want to do, and I've had a lot of opportunities, but my dream is to throw out a first pitch. Like I said earlier, sports fan, love baseball, love football. So to throw out a first pitch would be a dream for me. I don't know how great it's going to be. I can't throw that well, sorry. But it's something I've always wanted to do.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think somebody can make that happen. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so what would be your best advice to young women as Miss Texas USA?
I would say just to go after everything that you wanted in life. No dream is too big or too small. Just keep moving forward and keep dreaming. Because if I would have let what people told me and people said about who I am and what I look like, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be Miss Texas. I wouldn't be able to do interviews like this or talk to everybody that I want to talk to. And you are capable of anything you set your mind to. Just have to have faith in who you are and what you can do, and just keep moving forward.
Absolutely. It's about having the confidence, like you said, and just enjoy who you are.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to everybody else. We talked about that a little bit, how you said that a couple of your Miss Texas pageants that you had competed in before you won, you start to compare yourself with somebody else. And then you start putting yourself down.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're supposed to do.
No, and I think it's a big thing this year and this generation, especially with social media.
Yes.
You're constantly looking at what you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to dress like. But it's beautiful to be authentic and to be yourself and be different. So embrace that. Embrace your differences and love yourself for who you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's do something fun.
Okay.
I want to know 3 pieces of clothing that make your life easier.
Oh gosh. 3 pieces of clothing. Always a good pair of jeans. You can always have a nice pair of jeans. My favorite are the Lucky Brand jeans. They're so comfortable, but you can always have a nice pair of jeans, a really great blazer, and you can never go wrong with a great pair of heels.
Absolutely. And if you can't see her heels today, but they're Betsy Johnson's.
Yes, they're Betsy
And they
Johnson.
are fabulous.
Thank
adorable.
Thank you.
In your blazer, we already talked about that. That's adorable.
Thank you.
And pink is such a great color.
Oh, pink is an amazing color.
It just goes with everything, doesn't
Yes.
it? Okay, so what exercises do you think have helped you get in shape for this year?
Oh.
Because you had a back injury and then you didn't have that long to compete for Miss Texas USA, but you're in great shape. So what do you do on a daily basis that are a couple that our listeners would be able to do?
So the first thing that I started doing was when I broke my back, I wasn't able to work out, so I was only allowed to walk. So I would just walk for 3 miles or 4 miles a day. I realized I leaned out the most when it was that way. Because I was an athlete growing up, I bulk really easily, so I can't do a lot of weight. So body weight exercise for me is something that changed my body physically. And so lots of HIIT workouts, lots of yoga, meditation helps a lot as well. But walking was something that kind of changed for me. I used to run all the time, but walking kind of leaned me out and made me the way I am now.
Okay, awesome. So walking.
HIIT workouts, so high intensity interval training. So that's a lot of body workout. It's mainly cardio. You burn a lot of calories that way. But walking and HIIT workouts kind of help me. And Soldiers to Fitness, Arnold, he was what catapulted me into the workout world. And he was somebody I used the month leading up to Miss Texas. And he just gave me great body workouts that would just burn a lot of calories.
Yeah, he's amazing. Hey, Arnold, we love you. Okay, so what are 3 beauty tips that you would give our listeners that is something that they could do every day that you really don't do without?
Okay, so number 1, drink lots of water. I drink water constantly, and it's something a lot of people don't think about, but your skin needs the water. It needs the hydration to keep itself plump and awake and rejuvenated, I guess. And then the second thing I would say would wash your face. don't sleep in your makeup. Girls, please don't sleep in your makeup. I can't say it enough. It makes me cringe when like my friends are like, oh, I just looked at this, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Because your skin needs that moment to be clean and produce more oils and produce collagen, and the makeup kind of weighs your skin down. So it's number one and number two. And then the third one, I would say moisturize. Moisturizing is super important. And even if your skin is oily, it's actually because your skin is dehydrated, so it's producing excess oil. So find a good moisturizer, drink lots of water, and wash your face.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good tips. Everybody needs to do every day. Okay, so tell us a little bit about some of the things that you are doing right now outside of being Miss Texas USA.
Okay, so I work at Muzzies and I do their social media, so I am in charge of all of their social media marketing. So if you go follow their Instagram, you'll see me posting most of the time. And then I'm also finishing college. I am double majoring in communications and broadcast production. So I'm hoping to work next year and get a job in sports reporting. That's the dream job for me. I got to work with Laura Oakman, who is a Fox Sports reporter, and we did Galvanize, where it was with the Jaguars this summer. So hopefully I'll be working with her again. Well, I will be working with her in the spring and summer, but having a job with Fox Sports would be amazing.
Very exciting. I know we're going to be seeing you more and more on TV. Absolutely. Okay, what is your 5-year goal right now that you know of?
Right here now. So right now. Right here now. Who knows? Right now, I'm focused on Miss Texas and my career as a sports reporter, really pushing forward in both of those fields. But Miss USA is my main goal. The main bullet point for me right now is Miss USA. Just getting ready and prepared for that, just because it's going to come quickly. And I want to take this year and do as much as I can. I want as many events as I can go to, and being able to impact lives right now is what I'm focused on. So
absolutely. Wonderful. Okay, so what would one thing be that you want to make sure you take to Miss USA?
In my suitcase, or just in general?
Like suitcase, like an animal, like an
animal. Oh, I wish I could bring my puppy Harley. She is my saving grace. She's a little bit of a lunatic.
Yeah.
She gets this crazy.
She would fit perfectly at Miss USA.
Oh, she would, right? They would be like, whose dog is this? And they'd be like, Texas, of course. But I would, if I could bring her, I would. But I think the number one thing would be a good book.
Yeah.
So Girl Wash Your Face is one of my favorite books. I love it. It's kind of just like motivational, how faith kind of helps her get through life and get through struggles. So that's something I would bring. Or a book called Habitudes, which is on the art of self-leadership. Because I think you have to learn to lead yourself before you can lead others.
I love that. Love that. Okay, so what is in your refrigerator right now if we wouldn't open the door? Spill it.
Lots of water.
Lots of water.
Hummus, salad, salmon. I eat really healthy. And you're probably, okay. I wouldn't have guessed that. I say I eat healthy, as I'm about to tell you, cookie dough. And if you were at Miss Texas, you know the next answer is pickles.
That's right.
I'm a huge pickle fan. I love pickles. So I have a huge jar of pickles in my fridge. You'll find that.
You're my husband. That's right.
You'll find the first thing is pickles. Still pickles. Still pickles.
Yeah. Well, no calories.
Yeah.
And they're full of water.
Oh, they're great.
So that's what's great.
Yeah, great.
The best snack ever. Yes. Okay, so if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh, teleportation. Make life so much easier for me. I'd be able to get anywhere I needed to quickly. So when I travel to New York, if I'm traveling to LA, depending on the day, I can just get there.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I don't have to work with planes, cars. I'd be okay.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
It'd be the best superpower.
That would be the best superpower.
When it's a parasitic, I can do that.
That's right. That's right. Taylor, this has been so fun to have you today. Oh my gosh. I know y'all don't have the date for Miss USA yet.
Not yet.
That will be coming probably closer to the beginning of the year.
Yes.
Right?
Probably in mid-spring is when we'll hear
mid-spring?
more.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're so excited for you. So proud of you for becoming our Miss Texas USA 2020.
Thank you.
We will be following you and cheering you on. Absolutely. I'm so excited for you. Guys, if you have any questions for Taylor, you can follow her on social media. Tell us how to follow you.
So you can either follow me on my personal Instagram, which is Taylor Lee Kessler, or you can follow me on the Miss Texas Instagram, which is Miss TX USA. So those are my two Instagrams, but I'm also on Twitter as well, the same information. And you can also get me for an appearance if you need me there. Just go to themisstexasusa.com and sign up the appearance form, and they'll send it to me and let me know.
That's right, which is what I did.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Dylan, thank you. So happy for you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, so exciting. Okay, guys, stay tuned for more Kelly Williams show this week. So excited. And we hope you have a wonderful, blessed day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.